I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit this, but there was an SDX drop a few weeks ago, and in it they added a few items, but they also added some clothing, and somehow I like completely missed it. I made an entire video about this SDX drop and didn't even mention this Mass Effect stuff, but in my defense, I didn't know they added it. I didn't see it in the game, and they also didn't say they added it, so like how was I supposed to know? Well, they just did the same thing again yesterday. We had another SDX drop, and they even tweeted about it. They like mentioned the bug fixes in it, but somehow they just failed to mention that they added more clothes again yesterday. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't get this SDX drop stuff. Like, it is so weird to me they would add stuff into the game for free and then just like not talk about it. Like, if I were them and I was adding free stuff into free updates, I would be talking about it all the time. I'd be like bragging about it, like, hey guys, look at this free thing. Look, Sims delivery incoming. Restart your game and you'll get some new stuff. Give it a second. It'll restart and then we can check out the stuff. Okay, well, it does say fantasy gaming merch on the homepage. So they did promote it a little bit, but look, in their tweet, they said the tuning fix for extra mean Sims is available through today's Sims Delivery Express. They also apologized because this was supposed to come out like 2 weeks ago and then it didn't. Look, on the 16th, they're like, we're gonna fix the overly aggressive and mean Sims tomorrow. And then on the 17th, when it was supposed to come out, they were like, oops, sorry, it's not coming out today. And they had to delay it until early December, which is obviously now, which is really bad. But also Thanksgiving was in the middle of that, so they were probably off work for a few days there, which certainly didn't help. I am so curious, like, what happened here? How did they think it was gonna be fine and then the fix didn't go out? I don't know, but apparently the fix actually came out yesterday. You've probably encountered this bug, but basically Sims have been being like really overly mean and aggressive in their interactions. So it's just like constantly lowering their relationships, so it's very hard to befriend people or maintain friendships. It has been really annoying for like way too long. So obviously I am very glad to see this fixed. They also replied to that tweet and talked about like their priority issues for the next update, and they mentioned the same face toddlers glitch and also the wants and fears toggle not working, which is such a relief because that is so annoying. They really need to tune the wants and fears better. But beyond that, if you were to like want to turn off wants and fears because the fears are like so aggressive and pop up way too much, you just can't. Like, you try and press the button to turn it off and then it comes back. You just can't get rid of it. So it looks like they're gonna try and fix that for next month in January, luckily. So we had all those tweets and somehow they just didn't mention the free cast stuff they added. And there's actually kind of a lot of it. I think I'll start with the Mass Effect stuff because that's what came out like 2 weeks ago and I didn't realize. I will say that I was a little bit distracted by this nightmare shirt in that video, so it kind of overshadowed anything else that might have been added. It's also just new swatches, so it's easy to miss, but on this t-shirt, like the default base game t-shirt, they added a few new Mass Effect related swatches, but they also added a couple Dragon Age ones yesterday. Here are all of those, so it's kind of fun. In total, we've got 8 swatches added to this shirt now. I feel like it's always nice to have some more like basic t-shirts, and these are kind of fun because they're like sort of nerdy merch. I mean that like in a very positive way, by the way. It's kind of fun to have like video game merch in game. So many of my Sims are like gamers or at least into video games, so it's kind of fun to have things in game to help tell that story. That's why I love that little like It Takes Two poster so much. And these are almost like kind of fun Easter eggs. I'm gonna be honest, I've never played Mass Effect or Dragon Age, so I don't really know these games very well. But if you do play these games, this is probably like really fun for you. From my understanding, this little guy is called a Nug, and he's actually kind of cute, so I think I'm kind of a fan. Oh, I kind of like your outfit. You look cute. So for feminine frame Sims, we got that same t-shirt, but in my opinion, like a better version of it because they made a recolor of that base game pocket tee, but without the pocket. So the cut of it is a little bit cuter. It's got like cuffed sleeves and it tucks in. So on this one, they added all of those same video game themed swatches as the other t-shirt, but they also added a few plain ones. So we have like a plain black t-shirt. There's blue, there's gray, there's kind of like an olive green. I mean, all of the swatches are really nice. I feel like we really needed this. This color yellow is so pretty. I'm like so glad they added this. It's really nice to get some more like simple basics into the game. And if I'm being honest, I don't love the fit of a lot of the other base game t-shirts. Like this one is a V-neck and you can't tuck it in. And like the other version, the pocket version of this is really cute, but the swatches aren't as good. They're kind of too bold. This one's really cute, but it's also kind of tight and it's not tucked in. So it's just really nice to have this shirt. Again, anytime they add basics is like always a huge win in my book. They actually also added a couple of hats. We got some recolors of that base game beanie. We have this Mass Effect one, and we also have this one from Dragon Age. We also got kind of similar swatches added to the baseball cap in the base game. And believe it or not, they also added a bunch of new tattoos. Bear with me because I gotta scroll down and like try and find these really quick. Okay, so we have this one. We have this Mass Effect one. We also got this new one, and it's got a couple of swatches as well. And I'm pretty sure that that is all of them. I really hope that I'm not missing anything. It would be extremely embarrassing if I made like an entire— No, I almost did. Look, there's more. Okay, I was gonna say it would be really embarrassing if I made like an entire second video and I still missed some items. Okay, so we also have these two tattoos. This is kind of cool. I feel like for a long time, we just didn't really get many new tattoos in the game. And I feel like they kind of noticed that recently and then started going in and trying to give us more. Like, we got a bunch of new tattoos for free in the base game this year. Obviously, we have these new ones. They had those collab tattoos. We got these cow plant ones a couple months ago. They've kind of been stepping up their tattoo game recently. But that, my friends, I think is the entire SDX drop. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Honestly, I just really don't get why they don't talk about these things more, because all the time they like sneak stuff into SDX drops. It makes me wonder if there's like a communication error somehow, because sometimes even the patch notes like forget about new content updates. Or did they like not talk about it on purpose because it's a collab thing and they're scared it's gonna have backlash? But here's my thoughts on that, right? Like, I don't really personally love when The Sims does brand things, but mostly just when those brand things feel a little bit out of place in The Sims. Like the mosquito stuff pack, which by the way, I intentionally call mosquito, like the bug. It's sort of meant as an insult, you know, but the mosquito stuff pack was kind of weird. Like, this high-end fashion brand didn't really align with the main player base of The Sims. And also it was paid, like you had to buy this kind of weird stuff pack or like a $300 t-shirt in real life. It just didn't really align well with The Sims, but things like this, like a Mass Effect collab. I mean, number one, Mass Effect is an EA game, but also games in general, I feel like fit in a little bit more because we're playing a video game. Like, a lot of people who play The Sims also play Mass Effect, so it's more like a cool Easter egg as opposed to like a weird, out of place, kind of forced brand collab. I feel like the stuff is also just kind of cute and usable even if you don't know what it's referencing. Like, to me, this is obviously merch. I don't really care for what it's merch for, but like my Sims can wear it and it feels kind of cool. I will say that I don't love when there are English characters in the game. That's why I hate this like stupid EA Sports thing so much. It like kind of takes you out of the game, especially because they've got Simlish on the back. They put English on the front and Simlish on the back. If you tried to like mimic the EA Sports logo but then put it in Simlish instead, I would like it so much more. It's also your logo. Like, you can mess with your logo. It's yours. You made it. I can see how like Mosquito wouldn't want their brand to be written in Simlish because they're like weird about it and they're like paying for it. But this one is you. It's you. You can make your own brand fit in better. Oh, anyway, I don't know. I feel like the Mass Effect one, while it has English characters, at least it's just 2 letters. Like, this is only 2, which, you know, it's kind of passable. But imagine if like this shirt was all English. It just would be weird. It kind of just takes you out of it a little bit. Anyway, I will stop ranting about it now. Overall, I'm actually genuinely pretty excited about this update. It's just fun to get more cast stuff. It's also kind of fun to have more like basic cast stuff. All these things feel pretty usable to me. Like, it's just nice to have some more like simple t-shirts, you know? Whenever there's cool Sims updates or cool Sims news, I always try and make a video. Usually I don't forget about stuff in SDX drops. This was kind of a one-off for me and I'm really sorry about it, but feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I also make a ton of just like regular Sims videos where I actually play the game instead of just talk about it. So feel free to check those out too. And I do have one other tiny little request because I wanted to let you know that I'm doing a charity stream tomorrow on my Twitch channel. We're gonna play Sims all day and raise money for able gamers. It's a charity that works to make games more accessible and also make sure that everyone is able to access and play video games. They do some really cool stuff to help provide disabled players with like specialized controllers or equipment or like assistive tech that they might need so that everyone can play video games, and it's really important to me. So I'm gonna link my Twitch channel but also the donation page down below. Please don't feel like you have to donate, but if you want to, I'm gonna have it listed for you. And obviously anyone is welcome to come hang out during our charity stream tomorrow. I do have some giveaways and stuff planned if that's maybe an incentive for you. But on that note, I'm gonna cut this video right here. Thank you for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I'm gonna see you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. I know you can't see my shirt, but it's got like a little Santa, Timmy, and Tommy from Animal Crossing, and it's really cute. Not to brag. I know I didn't show you a single time, but like you can picture it, right? It's adorable.